Welcome back to another 2K22 video. In this one I'm going to show you how to make a Kevin Durant build. So let's get straight into it now. The position you want to make is power forward. Doesn't matter about your hand or jersey number. Let's go on. For the pie chart, I like to pick this one. So if you're starting at the top, you want to go down to the one that's got a little bit more green than yellow. And I've just lost it as I say that. There we go. Bang, pick that one. For physicals, you want to go with speed because you want as much speed as possible on this type of build. Then you want to go in here and maximize your shooting here. I like to get as many shooting badges as I can then. I'm not sure how many you can take off again. Okay, so there you go. So there you go, you can take off a few badges there. Now you go, you found the sweet spot, you get 26. Now if you want less of a three-pointer, more of a mid-range, that's probably more Kevin Durant. It's up to you though. I ain't going to tell you how to make it. There you go. You can, there's the sweet spot there. Maximize all that playmaking and get 20 playmaking badges. Now go over here, you're going to want to max out everything pretty much. And you're going to get 9 finishing. And then I don't think you can, oh you can if you want, so you could probably take off a little bit of something. I like to take off a little bit of standing dunk there. And then you can chuck some on your lateral quickness. Chuck the rest on your block, and I like to go back up here and add the last 3 to the mid-range. Now if you want, you can maximize your mid-range and then have a slightly lower 3-point shot, and that's still very much Kevin Durant. It's up to you how you want to make it, or you can make them both 78 like that. It's going to be the same thing overall. Anyway, I like to go with body shape for Kevin Durant slight. Usually I go with defined. Make the height 6'10". So we're not doing any of that nonsense where it's like a 6'7" build. This is like proper a tall player that can shoot, right? Which is what Kevin Durant is. He's been listed as 6'10" before. I know a lot of people say 7 foot. This will still do you the trick at 6'10" though. He was listed there, especially when he started out. You can just pretend it's a younger Kevin Durant. Now I like to get this as low as I can, and then I like to go with 201 because then I get my driving dunk up a little bit. I've also got pretty good vertical there, and we've got good lateral quickness and block. I know Kevin Durant's not really known for his defense. Then if you want, you can shorten the arms and you're going to be able to get a higher mid-range. I wouldn't suggest making them longer because it's not really going to help you out in any way possible. So what I like to do is I just like to leave the arms as is. They're pretty good length as they are. You get good shooting there. But if you do want a little bit extra, you can shorten the arms like that, and you're still going to get really nice stats because you got to remember you're going to add +4 to everything. So you get a 90 close shot, 65 driving dunk, 84 for your mid-range and your 3. You're going to get 60 ball handle, and you're going to get 70 block there, as well as 65 lateral quickness. But with that being said, you're not going to be able to get playmaking takeover. If you do that, you can only get post scorer or spot up. So if you want those, I think you can do it if you max. Yeah, you can. But when I made this build, I just left the arms as is, and you get all 3 there. So now for Kevin Durant, you'd probably want to go spot up shooter. That's probably the one that's like him the most. However, I like to go post scorer if you're just making this build for a bit of fun too. It's pretty insane to see. You're going to get an offensive oriented 4. Now, if you did put a little bit more into the mid-range, you will get a mid-range Maestro rather than an offensive-oriented 4. So whichever name you want, they're both kind of rare, and it's really cool to see like that. But you see we've got shades of Tobias Harris, John Collins, and Harrison Barnes. But really it is like Kevin Durant when you think about it. So there you go. Now going over the badges. Here you got to go slithery finisher, the snake, of course. Kevin Durant's known as a snake. And then I like to chuck on like fearless finisher, maybe mouse in the house. It all depends. I mean, it's up to you really. Limitless takeoff's also pretty good. But the slashing on this build's not, like, it's not going to be insane or anything. You could also just put on some post stuff if you want to do a lot in the post. It's really up to you, but I like to chuck on slithery finisher, and then yeah, I don't know, probably fearless, and I'd say probably the other one I chuck on a lot of the time is unstrippable with this sort of build because it is very easy to get steals in this game. But you could chuck on some other things like fast twitch, post spin technician, drop stepper, even hook specialist or grace under pressure, back down puncher, or limitless takeoff. That's up to you though. We're going to go on to shooting badges now, which is where Kevin Durant excels. And you want to chuck on sniper, hot zone hunter. Of course, those two are so important there. Because he's so tall, I like to chuck on deadeye and blinders. And then from here, I like to chuck on difficult shots as well. I like to chuck on some bronze green machine, but you might want to bump that up to silver. It all depends on your playstyle, or maybe bronze corner specialist. That's what I like to do. And then considering how insane it is this year, probably stop and pop as well. So that's probably what I'd go with for Kevin Durant. Now, if you do, like, because this is Kevin Durant, this isn't the mid-range shooting one. Of course, if you upgraded the mid-range, you're going to get that name Mid-Range Maestro, which is definitely Kevin Durant, as well as being an offensive-oriented 4. And instead of putting on difficult shots, I'd probably, you could put on difficult shots there, but instead you could also chuck on like Circus 3s, which is going to be insane. Or if you don't want to be taking any of those types of shots, you could be putting on something like Volume Shooter. But that's what I like to run, is this right here. Then for playmaking, you're going to want to put on Quick Chain, Quick First Step here, Unpluckable because you are quite tall, Hyperdrive, and then I like to chuck on Glue Hands, Bailout, Bullet Passer, and Needle Threader, just like that. And then I like to put on Bronze Clamps here. So this bat, it probably doesn't seem like it's great defensively, this build, but it will definitely do the trick. You've got a high lateral quickness for a 6'10 build, right? And you've got a really high block too. You don't need all the badges, especially considering your size and frame. And Kevin Durant's not really known as a defensive stop. He's known more for his scoring on the other end of the ball. So with this one, of course, you can't actually get the Kevin Durant jump shot, which really sucks, but you can still test it out here, and you can go all the way over and test out with the nets there. You can see you played next to Kevin Durant there as well. Now, I didn't try, but you could also try making this a small forward. Usually they end up with less badges. And you can make it 6'10 as well and see what that does for you. Maybe you'll get the name Kevin Durant. That's not what I did. So there you go. I've just missed it. There we go. Let's have a look at it one last time. The offensive-oriented 4. If we go back and have a look. There it is. And I'll quickly just show you guys, just to prove that I'm not lying about it. But you can get the name Mid-Range Maestro if you want as well. You can take a few more off as well if you want, but I don't know where you'd want to put them. Maybe you want to put them into ball hand. That's the only place I can think. So if you do that, like that, I'm just roughly doing this and leave that as it is. You should get Mid-Range Maestro now. There you go, Mid-Range Maestro. Just like that, and as you can see, there's great tributes on it too. Both are great names, I think. Both pretty rare names. So yeah, that's really up to you though. It's just a personal choice type of thing. Everything else is pretty much going to be relatively the same about. It's just going to get a bit higher mid-range. Still an insanely good 3-point shot at 99 with 77. But yeah, for the last time, there's the Kevin Durant build, either offensive oriented 4 or mid-range Maestro. But that's it for this build video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And that's it. I'll see you later. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. But cheers. See ya.